Hey, what's up guys, I'm back with another speed test. It's time to do a speed test comparison between the OPPO Reno 14F 5G versus the Samsung Galaxy A36 5G. And the Samsung A36 5G is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 SoC. Also we have 8GB of RAM, while the OPPO Reno 14F 5G is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 SoC. Also we have 8GB of RAM. We have a 2th generation new SoC on the A36 5G. Also on the back we have triple cameras on both phones. So very interesting to see how both phones is gonna perform. Let's start off with the Bootup test. Logos came up much faster on the Samsung, while OPPO it is way too much behind. Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 versus a 6 Gen 3 on the right hand side. And both phones is running on latest Android 15. On the Color OS we have version 15 versus One UI 7 out of the box on the 836. So 836 it is much faster, while OPPO it is also right behind there. We only have 1 second difference between these two devices when it comes to booting up. And now let's talk about the display. So OPPO has a smaller 6.5 inch 1.5K AMOLED, which can produce up to 1 billion colors. Also we have 120Hz refresh rate with the center punch hole, and the bottom chin it is also really small overall. While on the other hand, Samsung A36 has a 6.7 inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate. Also we have a center punch hole once again, and the passes it is really thin on the OPPO Reno 14F 5G. Everything's closed up in the background, no application is running in the background. Also we have same Wi-Fi network on both phones. So now let's opening up the phone dialer on both phones. Let's see which one will be faster. Phone dialer is faster on the Samsung. So next on the list is the settings, faster this time on the OPPO. So let's go to the display. So you can see we have adaptive 120Hz refresh rate versus we also have auto mode, but I prefer high manual 120Hz mode. So now check out some more apps like Amazon Shopping on both phones. That one it is slightly quick on the OPPO if I'm not wrong. Again, you guys are the judge of the speed test. Scrolling it is feels really smooth on both phones. Now let's open desktop tab, exactly the same. So now check out some games application. Now let's start off with the Candy Crush Saga. So Candy Crush it is slightly faster on the Samsung A36 5G. Instagram, that is really similar. Let's spin out, faster on the Samsung A36 5G. Snapchat, slightly quick on the Samsung. Spotify, and slightly quick on the OPPO. Now let's opening up the Subway Surfer, another game. Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 on the right hand side versus the 6 Gen 1 on the left hand side. So faster on the Samsung A36 5G. So let me show the speakers. First on the OPPO, here is what OPPO looks like. OPPO has a 300% mode, and here is the Samsung looks like with the max volume. And I would say in the speakers it is same on both phones in terms of the loudness wise, although the bass it is slightly more higher I would say on the Samsung, and the sound is more clear on the OPPO. So now let's opening up the Temper 2. So Samsung A36 with the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 is perform faster. So Samsung it is done, while OPPO it is also done as well. Now let's opening up the PUBG Mobile. And PUBG it is looks faster on the OPPO, yes it is, while Samsung it is way too much behind. I don't know why, I think, and the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 it is not really optimized yet on the Samsung. So now let's open up X, faster on the OPPO. Now let's open up Zedge. Zedge it is exactly the same, Scrolling it is feels really smooth on both phones, and 120 Hz on both phones. It is really optimized, I would say. So last one, launching the cameras on both phones. Default camera application. Let's see which one will open the camera faster. So slightly faster on the OPPO, and as far as the cameras are concerned, especially in this lighting condition, let me show you how is the colors looks like. So here is the pictures looks like on both phones. So in the picture it is, I would say, overall slightly better on the OPPO. So now let's look at the front facing camera. So the front facing camera, it is one of the best, I would say, on the OPPO Reno 14 F5G. I like the colors, even the sharpness, everything looks really great. Now let's see internet browsing speed. So I am using Chrome on both phones. Also we have same Wi-Fi network. So opening up the wikipedia.org, exactly the same. So let's see the scrolling on both phones. Scrolling it is visually smooth. Same thing zooming out. And now let's open this language tab. Slightly quick on the OPPO once again. Next on the list is the apple.com. Apple.com, it is faster on the Samsung A36 5G over the OPPO Reno 14 F5G. So let's see the scrolling. Scrolling it is visually smooth. So now let's see RAM management. So we have 8 GB of RAM on both phones. So let's see. Let's open up phone dialer. That seems like still there. Settings, still there. Amazon shopping, and that cart refresh on the OPPO. Let's see Candy Crush Saga, refresh on the OPPO. Instagram, that is still there on both phones. Let's see pin out, once again cart refresh on the OPPO. Snapchat, that is still there. Spotify, still there. Subway Surfer, that is still there on the Samsung. Temperanto, same result. Let's see PUBG, that is still there. And open up X, and now let's open up Zedge, and last we're back to the internet browser, as you can see. So RAM management is excellent on the Samsung, but not on the OPPO Reno 14 F5G. So guys, all I have to say is regarding the apps opening speed, once again Samsung A36 with the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 is performed much faster as compared to the OPPO, not only in SMS applications, mostly in games. Although in PUBG OPPO is faster there, I don't know why, but overall Samsung is faster there. So in terms of the RAM wise, excellent RAM management on the Samsung. Also on the OPPO we have 6000 mAh battery size, we have 45 watts super fast charging, while Samsung has a 5000 mAh battery size with a 45 watts super fast charging but no charger in the box. So that's about it, and thank you so much for watching this speed test comparison between the OPPO Reno 14 F5G versus the Samsung Galaxy A36 5G. So do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.